Hey guys, this is Coach Eric and Coach Corey, and we're here to talk about the kettlebell swing and common faults with the kettlebell swing. So, Coach Corey is our most stellar athlete and coach with movement quality, so this is going to be really difficult for him to show us some faults, but we're going to bear with him, hopefully, and he can do this terribly as well, okay? So, few common faults. One really important one is a broken midline, which is essentially breaking at the core or not staying stable at the core. This can be done in a few different variations. This can be done by rolling your back and not keeping your spine protected, or overextending. So I'm going to have Corey demo a few. I'm going to have him demo the rolled back first. So he's going to come here. Normally his back's nice and straight. Now this is coming down. Corey's doing a great job of doing this poorly. He's rolling his back. His upper back is rolled. His low back is rolled. Good. You can relax for a sec, Corey. We're going to make sure he doesn't get hurt. With that, if you notice that his back was rolled, that's a really unsafe position for his spine. It's not really actually protected by the muscles around it. We want to make sure it stays nice, straight, and hinging correctly. The other way that he would ruin his midline or break his midline is as he goes overhead, he's going to overextend. So if we can show some of those, Corey. So if we watch his low back here, see how he's leaning back? He's going to put a lot of pressure on his low back here, just like so. We don't want to have that. A good fix there, like we always try to tell people, is to tighten the cheeks so it's nice and protected as opposed to overarching as we're overhead. Okay. So the next one is the heels raising while you're extending the kettlebell. So while we're here, we're going to watch Coach Corey's heels. He's going to do a few good ones. Ideally, he drives and his heels stay down. They're pushing into the ground, which gets his posterior chain or his hamstrings, glutes, low back working well. If he's not doing that right, he's going to be going into his toes as he extends. He's actually pretty poor at doing this. There you go. And he's getting into his toes for a little extension at the end. Good, relax, Corey. Some people will do that to get a little bit of extension at the end, but that's not actually helping. It's actually hurting the movement and not a safe position on your low back or your stronger areas you want to use in the posterior chain. Okay. Next one, pulling the kettlebell. So ideally, normally our arms are like straps so that we're able to use the hips and the power in the hips when they extend. Corey's going to show us if his arms bend early and he's kind of pulling that kettlebell up there. See, his arms are bending pretty early. He's not actually using as much power in his hips. He's got some, but he's actually using more pull. This is actually going to load up his arms too much. Not the strong position, not efficient. His hips are the efficient power one we want to use. Lastly, his finishing position of the kettlebell. So when you go overhead with the kettlebell, you want it to be an extension of your knuckles. Okay, so Corey, will you show us a few good ones right here? So if you notice, the top of the bell is an extension of Corey's knuckles as he goes up, which is great. Even if he does the Russian swing, it's still an extension of his knuckles because it's getting weightless from his hips. Will you show us now a poor finishing position, Corey? So here, see how the bell is tipping down, but his knuckles are facing up? This is pulling at the end of it. Good, you can rest, Corey. That's pulling at the end of the movement, which is not actually using the core and the midline, which is going to be actually really, really inefficient for the movement and burning out and making it rougher over the long term. Okay? Awesome. Great job, Corey. Way to screw up. Always the best. That was good. All right. That might have been. Is that too close?